Anyways, you claim to know NBA basketball, so let's fill out a bracket live on television.
So, for anyone listening right now, this is the morning after the first play-ins. So obviously we know Philadelphia won, we know Chicago won, Sacramento won, and the Lakers won.
Which
So moving on, we can do this eighth seed here, regardless of who wins. I don't really think it matters. I think we're both gonna have OKC and Boston move on. So,
I,
but we can still go through it.
I don't know. Let's start there. Let's start with that Thunder series. I just
Well, let's start with the actual games here itself. So let's go into Chicago versus Miami. Let me hear your thoughts here.
the Chicago thing is great. That's fine. Kobe White's not going for 40 again. I don't think they're beating the Heat even without Jimmy. Now again, I don't know.
Mm.
The East is this is the same Heat, mostly the same Heat team that went and almost beat the. I shouldn't say almost beat the Nuggets. Went and played basketball against the Nuggets in meaningful. In a
Yeah,
meaning,
but who was on that team when they faced the Nuggets?
Bam, Jimmy. It's basically
Jimmy,
majority the same roster, with the exception of like Jaime Jaquez and the rookies that they brought up. But
which made them even better. And actually, no, they lost. Who's that guy that they lost to the Cavs?
Max Strus,
Yeah, it,
yeah, Max Strus.
uh, yeah, I think there was
Cavs,
another one who
Cavs legend Max Strus too.
Cavs legend now.
Yeah, he hit a half court shot. He's now a Cavs legend. I don't make the
Oh,
rules.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so
I also, quite frankly, don't think it matters who wins that game because the Celtics are going to beat either of them in 5 games. Unless the Heat get Jimmy back, I just don't see a reality where either of those teams
wait,
beat Boston.
oh, they're not going to get Jimmy back though. He's going to be out for weeks. But
Yeah,
I
they're
think
cooked.
the glorious porn star Kevin Love with that beautiful jaw is going to bring the.
Glorious, where, what? Glorious, I need some there needs to be some context.
Look up his face, dude. He's sexy. What do you mean?
Porn star, God, no, that's Jimmy Garoppolo, dude. What? Hold on.
Yeah, this is a different sport, buddy. We gotta have some. We gotta have our
Okay.
NBA porn star. Who are we having for our NBA porn star? Is it going to be Kelly Oubre?
That's our MB. That's our resident light skin. No, that's just our resident light skin.
Yeah. So I think it's got. I think my vote is Kevin Love here. I mean, just look up Kevin Love jawline and have that
I
in your
love when
search.
he's like clean shaven.
Oh no, he's
Like,
got to
tear
have the
that
beard,
down.
dude.
Okay,
Like the cut beard.
I could see it.
Thank you.
He looks like he reminds me of my dad, which is a problem. But I could
Suppose
see
I've never met your dad, so I don't know.
I could see it. Yeah, no, yeah,
I've never met you, actually, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure the viewers know this, but never met this dude in my entire life, and we're making a YouTube channel, so that's
Yeah,
fun. Maybe if we meet up, he'll murder me. We'll never know until it
yeah,
happens.
guys. So Jack.
Got him.
No, I'm just kidding. Oh, all right. What are your thoughts on the play-in game? Yeah, you're
Yeah,
gonna.
let's get back into that. We are
Yeah, we're off the rails a little
on
bit.
ADHD moments here. Um, I think the loss against the Sixers with Jimmy going out won't make a difference. We're going with Miami. I don't care.
Here's the thing, though. Let's say the Heat had won. I feel like that version of the Heat could beat the Knicks, but I don't know if they can beat Boston.
I think that's I don't think you realize that the Knicks are a two seed for a reason.
Oh no, I'm not saying the Knicks are bad. I just who on that Knicks team has playoff experience. It's kind of like the Thunder argument we'll get into later.
I don't think they do. I mean, outside of the first round, these guys don't.
Yeah, that's my point. So I don't.
Well, no, they got to the second round last year, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, and then they lost to the Heat in 6 games. They almost went to the no, no, hold on. They almost went to the championship game, dude. They almost beat the Heat. It was a 6 game series, and it was a pretty close game.
I don't think those Eastern Conference Finals because Boston was in
No, no,
both.
no, 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 no. The semifinals.
Okay, I was gonna say I didn't think that was the ECF. I was tweaking. I need to see the Knicks play more playoff basketball. Isaiah Hartenstein doesn't move the needle for me. and his hood turned.
Brunson does though, dude. Brunson does. Anyway, okay. Let's do this this Western Conference.
Yeah, this is an interesting game.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on this?
I've got the Pelicans still because I can't trust the Kings in a meaningful game. So
Sure. I mean, I got the Kings. I think Sabonis is
yeah.
gonna take him
You
to.
really can't go wrong there. I mean, there's a case for both teams, but yeah, I just
Sure.
don't.
I mean, either way, it's not gonna go more than 6 games against Thunder. So.
With that said, no matter who comes out of that eight seed, do you have the Thunder or do you have the Field? I guess.
Oh, I got the Thunder in 5. I got Sacramento going, and I got Thunder in 5.
I'll offer two scenarios. If the Kings go, I think the Kings could push that one to 7. Because you forget
Seven.
they took the Warriors to 7 their first time in their first round of the playoffs. I was like anyone on that team's first playoff experience. And they took a team with the greatest shooter on earth the distance, and the greatest shooter had to put up 30 or 40 to beat them in Game 7. So
I don't know, man. I don't think that
now
does it.
if it's the Pelicans without Zion for a couple games, it's probably Thunder in 5. But
I mean, we're talking about the Warriors team who got bounced by the Lakers in the second round,
that's true. Yeah, with
and
that
the
said,
Lakers aren't getting. I'm sorry, spoiler alert here, but Jokic is going to the second round at least.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
shocked the Lakers didn't tank to try to play the Thunder because I feel like the Lakers
Yeah.
could beat the Thunder. But
Well, here's the deal: you're not having a guarantee in that second game, though.
that's
Yeah,
true.
that's not a cakewalk.
With that said, Thunder and we'll say Thunder in 6 for the purposes of my bracket. So
For your bracket, okay, I got 5. I mean, if they're one, like I said, they're a 1 seed for a reason, just like the Knicks. They're a 2 seed for a reason. This isn't March Madness here. There's not going to be a huge amount of upsets unless your name is Jimmy Butler and you're going up against my Bucks that love to play down to their opponent.
competition, yeah,
Yeah,
playing their competition, yeah,
and that's the classic Bucks right there. But
seems
should
bad.
we move to the other 1 seed, or do you want to keep going with Western
I'm
Conference?
scrolling down. My next matchup is Clippers Mavs.
Okay, we'll do that.
So, um, this one is also interesting because Luca gets a bad rap for playing no defense, but at the same time, ever since they acquired PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford, they're like a pretty sure a top 15 or a top 10 defensive team since then. So
Yep.
they have two generational scorers. They've got two role guys that they acquired to trade that have contributed nicely. They've got a deep-ish bench.
Yep.
I don't know. And then with the
They
Clippers,
got their stud in Kyrie as well. I mean, if you
yeah, that's
if
what I
you
mean.
have Luca off the court, who is obviously your number one scorer here, and the one that you rely on heavily in order to win games offensively, obviously not defensively, but offensively. As soon as you throw him out, he's screwed. Oh wait, no, you're not screwed. You got Kyrie freaking Irving out there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I got Dallas in 6.
I gotta talk about the Clippers real quick because I don't know what we're getting with the Clippers either. Because like, we could get vintage PG-13, we could get vintage James Harden dishing out 15 assists, or we could get a team that has to rely on Norman Powell scoring 30 against Mavericks bench players and wins games. With that said, I've still probably got the Mavericks. I think that one goes 7 because the Clippers are still a good basketball team. I'm not saying they're not a good basketball team. I don't know if I can trust them to close out games in Dallas. With that said, give me the Mavs in 7 for the not only for the culture and my Melanin brothers, but just because I need to redeem my ball knowledge.
Your non-melanin brothers.
Non-Melanin brothers.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really that often where you see a game go 7 games. I mean, I'm looking here, and there was about 3 in the whole playoff series where you have a team going 7 games. It doesn't happen often, unfortunately. I know it's the fun route to go. It's like, ooh, these two teams are a toss up. Let's flip a coin and give them a 7 game series. That doesn't happen. That happens maybe once a round. And it's not going to be this round. I think I think Kawhi is way too questionable for me. Paul George is way too questionable for me long term for a 7 game series. I mean, sure they could go up 2-1 in the first 3 games, but we're talking first to four here. I don't trust these guys. I trust them when they're healthy, and
Yeah.
you could have these guys in. I almost said Super Bowl. We've been talking about NFL way too much, but you could have them going to the finals easily,
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah. And that's what I
Doesn't
mean.
happen.
That's what I mean is I don't know what version of this Clippers team I'm getting, so I'm going to trust the version of this Mavs team that I've already seen.
I
So,
think Luka's time is now,
yeah, I just
and I almost had them winning in 5, but I gave them 6 just so they could win at home to close.
when your coach Jason Kidd, who's notoriously like a top 100 or 150 basketball player ever, says that you're the game plan, and there's edits made about you where people are calling you Luka the game plan Doncic. You're something is different, and I just yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna trust the Mavs team that I've already seen for 82 games.
I think he has 2 MVPs in him in the next 5 years.
Yeah, 100%.
I can definitely if they can crack top 3 consistently, that's the only thing stopping him from being a top 50 player all time to top 20 all time
Yeah, yeah,
is how good his team is, which is funny to think about. But this is a superstar league. Superstars get high numbers or high seeds.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wolves Suns. So I don't know if you saw my Instagram story or my personal, of course, over the last week after we lost to the Suns in the regular season finale to kind of set this matchup. Wolves Twitter was a mess. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's Suns in 4. Oh, we're getting worked." I'm like, first of all, we gotta look at it like this. Go look at the splits and go look what they did. Kevin Durant went for 40 in the first game. I'm pretty sure we were missing Cat and somebody else in the second game. And Bradley Beal went for 40 and they shot 15 of 27 from three in the third game.
well, sure. I mean, they have 3 monumental scorers on that starting lineup.
See,
Someone's gonna go for 40 every game at this point,
yeah,
dude.
but here's the thing though. They're
Taking
not
points
gonna
away.
shoot over 50% from three every game. That's just not gonna happen. I don't care if you've Kevin Durant, me with a headband on, or like Jesus Christ himself. Like you're not gonna shoot 55%. So everybody needs to calm down. You need to understand the Suns are a good basketball team. I'm not discounting that by no means. The Suns are a bad basketball team, but they're not. If they don't have one of those three dudes going for 40, or at least two of those three dudes going for 40, they have no depth behind their starter. Who behind their starter?
I think you're forgetting about this. I hate to say glorious again, but Thaddeus Young, brother,
I was gonna go with Ish
you
Wainwright.
forget.
I was gonna go with Ish
What?
Wainwright for the culture, but like the same thing. Exactly. Like these meme players behind them. Who on the Suns bench is gonna win them a game? You can't name anybody other than giggling like you just did. So like again,
Isaiah Thomas if it was 2017.
yeah. So that's my take is that everybody needs to calm down. You know, understand? Forget the Wolves are the 3 seed. We still have home court. They have to come if we have to play Game 7. They have to come to the Twin Cities to do that. So granted, they just smacked us in
Right.
our own building. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about that.
We're healthy. We have Cat and we have Michael Jordan's son, Anthony Edwards. Now, again, I'm not going to say we're going to sweep them, but it's Wolves in 6. Maybe 7. It really depends. I'm going to go 6 for the purposes of the video.
If it takes 6 games, it's gonna be the Suns. But oh man, I know I said before like we shouldn't throw 7 out there like it's a blunt,
Yeah, I'm
but
going 6 because I just think we'll win all our home games. So,
I think I think it's a 7 game series here.
again,
And like I said, I don't like throwing that. I don't like throwing out the 7 game argument too much. So you know that this means something, but like I mean, it's Kevin freaking Durant, dude. He's gonna take over at least 3 of those
you
games.
know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant.
That is badass, dude. and then they edit afterwards. That's so badass.
Mhm.
Okay, moving on to the Lakers and the defending champion Denver Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets. Again, this one it could have the potential to be interesting, but the Lakers are so just. The Lakers are a media machine. You know what I mean? Like it's we're gonna talk about them whether it's in a playing game against the Pelicans or they're going up against the defending champions. I don't see a reality where Jokic doesn't baby Anthony Davis for 5 games. Like LeBron's gonna win one for you because he's the greatest basketball player ever. But the Nuggets are so good, bro. I watched them demolish my basketball team in 5 games last year en route to a championship. I watched them do the same thing to Jimmy Butler and the Heat in the finals. Like it's Nuggets. I'm sorry, it's Nuggets in 5. I don't see
Yeah, here's the deal.
them.
Let's not forget what happened last year. It wasn't even a gentleman's sweep. It was a full sweep all the way through.
Yeah,
It wasn't close. What's different this year? Can you answer that question?
no.
What's like? Tell me what's the difference between this year and last year where you think that they can win one game, dude? I got Denver in a full sweep,
Yeah,
four nothing.
the reason I'm
It's not
giving
cool.
the Lakers one game is again they have LeBron. LeBron's not going to go out sad like that. Though I think they'll win one of their 2 home games in games 3 or 4.
You went out sad last year. I
Yeah,
mean, granted that was conference finals, but
yeah, I know.
so was that season.
I'm going to give them one for the purposes of I'm not going to doubt LeBron because, like I said, LeBron led a 3-1 comeback. I'm never going to count him out completely, so I think he gets them one.
That's
So
prime. I don't. I don't. Oh, well, either way, Denver's going to the next
yeah,
round. I
Denver's
think
moving
so
on.
far we have everything the same here.
Yeah. We'll move to the East, and then we'll circle back for conference semifinals. So
Sure. Let me hear what you got for the
Celtics with
Miami
the 8
and the
seed. It
Boston.
doesn't. It really doesn't matter. No Jimmy. The Bulls. The Bulls were in the play-in for a reason. Boston won 60 games. It's Celtics in 5, 4. No, Celtics gonna sweep. What am I talking about? I don't see with Jimmy again. I might give the Heat a game or two, but if the Bulls win that game, the Bulls Kobe White can't carry you in a playoff series. Kobe White's a great sixth man. He's not gonna move the needle. So it's Celtics in 4. I don't.
Wait,
James,
do you have the Bulls there right now?
I'm saying I gave you both scenarios. So it's if the Bulls
Oh
win,
yeah, yeah.
Miami wins. I don't think that one matters. With the West, you can make an argument for the Pelicans. You can make an argument for the Kings, but I just don't think there's an argument for either of these 2 teams. Because if Miami was whole, then we could have a different conversation. But it's Celtics in
Here's
4.
the deal. They know Butler's out. They know it's going to be a cakewalk. They got 2 games in Miami. They're going to drop one of them. It's going to be a 5-game series, and they're just going to ease their way into the next round, not doing too much.
Yeah,
And I think they have all capabilities of grabbing 4 games out of 4. But here's the deal. I mean, regardless of Butler's there or not, that is a tenacious roster, regardless. It's just the scoring. I don't really know what's there. I mean, shit, dude. I mean, Butler had 5 steals in the first half, I think, last night.
yeah,
Like, he is a huge part of that team, obviously. And and you can argue, an upset here even if Butler's in, but he's not. But either way, I don't think it's going to be a full on sweep here. I think it'll be, I don't think they're going to try as hard as they should be. So I got them in 5.
yeah. And that's completely fair because Miami flu or whatever they call it down there is a very real thing. So. All
Yeah.
right, so let's stay in the state of Florida somewhat. We have Magic Caps 4-5.
Orlando Magic, Orlando Magic, Orlando Magic.
Whoa,
Oh.
whoa. Anyways, you go first.
Here's the deal. I love the Magic, but my God, who's on that team and what are they doing in the playoffs? They don't know what the playoffs are. They don't understand what a playoff atmosphere is. I don't think it's going to be close. I understand it's a 4-5, But here's the deal. I mean, with Mitchell, with Garland, you also have an insane cast of role players that'll get the job done in their respective roles. This isn't normal for me to have a 4-5 not be close. But here's the deal. Cleveland's going to drop the first game, and then they're going to realize what playoff basketball is, and the Cavs are going to win 4 straight, and they're going to win in 5.
I don't mind that, but at the same time, the Magic are in the playoffs. Like I'm pretty sure it's the first time since like Shaq was around or T Mac was around or whenever it was. So, well, I don't know. I don't think the Magic are ready to win a playoff series, but I think they'll push it to 6 games. They'll figure out what heartbreak is when the Cavs beat them on their own floor in 6 games. So I've got Cavs in 6 purely for the purposes of like what you said. Like the Magic are going to steal a couple games here because they're the Magic and they do weird things. They have a banger theme song, all that fun stuff. But Cavaliers are ready.
I
But
will say I will be rooting for the Magic though. I mean,
yeah, I
I've
want
been I thought I was so convinced Markelle Fultz was going to be the best third option on that Sixers team, like of all time, and him and Simmons and Embiid were just going to take over the entire league and have the next big three.
yeah. What happened to Ben Simmons, man?
Yeah,
That could be a whole other episode later on.
obviously I'm not going to throw bias in here, but Bucks and 4. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's not
I
an
think
unreasonable pick.
no, it's going to go 6 games because we play down to our competition. Um, and yeah, we'll win in 6. I don't think it's going to take 7 to take them down.
Yeah, I'm gonna be different here, and I genuinely believe this. Pacers in 7. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Less.
Let's see, they played how many games this year? One, two, they played 4 times. Indiana's beaten them 3. And keep in mind, when Indiana beat them those 3 times, Indiana was the worst defensive team ever. We were talking about them like putting up 140 a night, and it was fun. Hal Burton had 25 assists a night. Like it was great. It was fun to watch. They got better defensively as the year went on. Yeah, they dropped a few games and they dropped into this 6th slot, but I think they've got like Miles, like they don't have like vets, but they've got guys who have been in the league long enough that they can kind of mentor and carry these young guys through to a first round series. And here's the thing though, without Giannis, I don't know what Bucks team I'm getting because Dame is great. Dame's gonna go for 40. Dame can do whatever he wants, but I don't trust the rest of that Bucks team to do that regularly. Bobby Portis, my goat, the headband. Um, you're not going to get a Bobby Portis legacy game every time. So I've got Pacers in 7 for the fact that Milwaukee doesn't like playing these guys. The Pacers know that. We know that. The media knows that. I just think the Pacers are
How
ready.
long is Giannis out for?
At
I'm,
least
I
they
was
said
unaware.
definitely. So I'd guess probably the first 2 games, and they'd fly him to Indiana and see if he can go for game 3. But because that series
Okay.
doesn't start, we're recording on the 18th. That series doesn't start until Sunday the 21st. So
I mean, that changes things. I didn't realize.
yeah, if I
I
had
thought
to
he was going to be
guess, if I had to guess, we'll see Giannis either in Game 2 in Milwaukee or again, like I said, they'll fly him out to Indiana or Indianapolis, and then let's see if we can see it for Game 3 in Indy.
and is he going to be 100% when he goes on the court?
That's another question. I can't. If it was the Bucks with Giannis, I'd be like, okay, Bucks in 5 and we can move on. But I don't trust. The Bucks are good enough to push this to 7, but I trust the Pacers, this version of the Pacers team more. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like the Clippers Mavs. I'm going to trust the version of the team that I've already seen as opposed to the Clippers Jekyll and Hyde type situation. You know what I mean?
And that's normally how it goes as well.
Yeah.
That's how it. I mean, all it takes is experience, and that's what's going to put you over the edge. And when we've actually seen it, it'll show. I'll move it to 7, but I'm still having the Bucks.
Yeah, and that's
I don't
completely
know.
too.
I think let's say he's out for 2. I think the Bucks could still grab 1. I mean, especially if they're at home here. I
I
think
wouldn't
I
be.
think 7 games is fine. That's two 7 series, 7 game series so far, which is fine.
I also wouldn't be shocked if the road team wins every game in that series.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, because you're seeing, let's say he's out for the first 2 games, they drop them both, and Giannis comes back, sure, and then it's a bloodbath for the rest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those two teams can just cannibalize each other.
yeah, that's a tough series, man. Yeah, these 3-6 series this year is going to be really fun.
Yeah, and that's here's the ironic part about both of them is I think the Bucks are still favored to win theirs, and the Suns are favored to beat my Wolves.
It's
So
idiotic. I mean, I don't care if they. I understand the Wolves have never won a series, but come on, this is not the regular Wolves that we're used to here, dude. It's a different culture. I mean, like for example, like when you think of the Bulls here, can you tell? I mean, I'm sure you might know a couple players, but like what do you know about the Bulls pre-Jordan?
you
What's going
don't.
on with them,
You don't.
dude? He is the Bulls. Minnesota just hasn't gone through that yet,
The
and
o-
it's coming.
the closest we've had was KG back when we set the franchise record for wins with like 58, and we were a 1 seed before you and I were born. So
But here's the thing, dude. That it was KG. This isn't just KG here. We got KG with everyone else as well. Like we got Edwards, we got Cat, we got the defensive player of the year, we got a future MVP in Edwards, we got a 6 man of the year, Naz Reid. You also have a 7th man of the year in McDaniels if unless he's starting,
well,
which I'm pretty sure he was starting, but either way.
mhm.
I mean, there's X factors upon X factors here that run deep for a 7 game series, and that's the firepower that I have for a full 7 game series here with Minnesota. I don't see that for the Suns. I think they can get a few games like 3, but I
Yeah.
don't. Even if they got past the Wolves here, they might get swept by the Nuggets, dude.
With that said, let's go Knicks, Sixers, and then we'll circle back and we'll do our semifinals. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
No, dude, I can't go first here.
I don't know. I wanted you to go first because I needed to go too. Right now, my gut right now says Sixers in 7. Now, hear me out. Again, the Knicks are a good basketball team. I'm going to say this about every upset I'm picking. It's not that I have no faith in the Knicks, but the Sixers, Tyrese Maxey is coming into his own. Embiid's back. Buddy Hield's popping off for whatever reason. And notice how the Sixers, while they dropped in the standings while Embiid was gone, they still kind of hung around. They were never like were they in danger of dropping out of the playoffs? Yes, but it wasn't like, hey, if you lose this game, you're out. They fell right in that 6, 7, 8 spot, kind of where they were with Embiid, and that tells you how deep that team is. The fall off is nuts, but I've got the Sixers in 7 because I'm gonna go with Embiid bullying Isaiah Hartenstein for. So yeah, Sixers and 6. I fear.
I think Sixers, no matter how many wins they get, they are a poverty franchise. But here's the deal. They're going up against another poverty franchise.
Which is weird because that's like the basketball capital. That's like the sports capital of America.
Yeah,
So
you'd think the NBA would rig it at least a little bit and have the Knicks get the number 1 overall pick with Zion. But that
oh,
never happened. I mean, they what did they get, third? They got RJ Barrett instead, which is tragic,
yeah.
by the way. Anyway,
Now RJ Barrett's back in Canada. So
where he belongs, dude. I was glad that he went to the Raptors. So here's the deal. Coming into this, I've had the Heat winning that game. So I haven't put literally any thought into this game here until now. So it is going to take me a little bit longer for me to figure this out here. I don't know how much I trust Embiid. I don't know how much I
like
trust
like in big games or to stay healthy as a whole.
both. Both, man. I I mean, big games, sure, but like we're talking about a 7 game series here. Maybe second best point guard in the league. Second best if you don't include Luca in that situation. I mean, we're not going to see Batum go for 20 again. Are we really going to see Batum go for make four threes in a row? I think he had 6 threes in that game
Yeah,
out
fourth
of
quarter.
his 20 points. So who says that he catches fire again? I'm not convinced. I think that the Knicks are a 1 seed for a reason. We're gonna see a lot of clips of Stephen A. Smith laughing. I got them in 7. I think I'm getting a no. I got the Knicks. I'm still trying to figure out how many games here.
Yeah, it's the Knicks. I think if you take the Knicks, it's got to be with a little bit of caution because, again, they're one of those teams where if Jalen Brunson isn't going ballistic or at least dishing out the ball, they struggle a little bit. So,
Yeah, I have more trust in Brunson being consistent than Embiid being consistent. I'm not saying Brunson's a better player in any means, but I think he brings his whole team together better. Versus having a one man free throw show.
yeah.
I'm not convinced. I
No,
think their time is coming. I mean, buddy, you got one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. You have an up and coming star in a Maxi. Tobias Harris is still there, giving you 10 rebounds. But for a 7 game series, I just don't. They're coming in fumbling. They're not coming in here set. And I got Knicks in 6. Let's say I'm giving them 6 games.
yeah, I can totally see that. I think the reason we have so many of these 7 game series is because there's so many question marks surrounding a lot of these rosters. Because
Right.
half the East has minimal to no playoff experience. The Celtics finished what 12 games clear of the Knicks for the second seed. Like it's one of those things where it's like I can't trust that the field is going to play out exactly the way it is, as much as I can trust the Celtics working their way through this conference.
Yeah, I mean, if you take out the fact of injuries and and inconsistency, if we're looking at this as a straight up no injuries 2K simulation here, I don't see anyone. I'm not even the Celtics. I don't think there's anyone who could stop the Sixers. But this isn't a video game. This is real life. And yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not convinced yet, man. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, again, I normally I would play to my trust the better version of the team, but I'm gonna Embiid. The Sixers have more playoff experience, I think, too. I think that's gonna play a huge role in going on the road and winning in probably the hardest place to play in all of sports at Madison Square Garden. Like that and Boston are probably the 2 hardest places to play, and they're gonna have to do both. Sixers would have to do both of those at some point in these playoffs if they're gonna go. If Embiid's gonna be taken seriously as a champion and not a free throw merchant.
Yeah, I'm not. Nah. See, I'd love to see the Bucks and the Sixers go at it, but I'm not convinced, man. So do you have? That means you have the Pacers and the Sixers. You got 6 and 7 seed going.
Yeah, but again, it'll get less interesting here as we go. So with that said, let's circle back. Western Conference semi number one, Thunder Mavericks, top half of the West. Or I have Thunder Mavericks. I forgot. I think you
Yep.
did the same thing. Yeah,
Yep. Thunder Mavericks. I had them winning in 6, and I got the Thunder winning in 5.
I can go first because I think this one's pretty set in stone. Personally,
Is it okay?
it's the Mavs. It's the Mavs in 6. You know why?
Yeah.
The Thunder
What?
have no playoff experience. You can get through as a 1 seed. You can get through the first round with no experience because they're gonna play a Kings team that, quite frankly, isn't great defensively, and they're gonna play a Pelicans team that's not gonna have Zion for at least the first 2, maybe 3 games of the series, and by then it could already be over. But I'm gonna trust Luka. I'm gonna trust Kyrie. I'm gonna trust the additions that they already made. Like again, they're better defensively than people give them credit for. And when the Thunder can't run on you and the Thunder aren't putting up 130, they struggle. I think Lively is gonna. I think Lively will outplay Chet to an extent, and I think SGA is gonna get his no matter what. But I think they're just gonna struggle. So outside of SGA and Chet, there's not a bunch. a lot of those role players aren't going to step up and go win you a game or step up and give you meaningful contributions. Then again, Nick Batum just went for 20 and put the Sixers in the seven seed. So
That's one game.
who knows? Yeah, that's my point. So,
I
yeah,
think you're being disrespectful. I think you need to give the Thunder a lot more credit. They're number one seed for a reason. They have, I get they're young, but they all work together flawlessly. With that said, I got Dallas in 6.
yeah. I think it. Even Kyrie's got even Kyrie's got playoff experience on that Mavs team. I just trust the more complete Mavs team.
Yeah.
Right now, so again, we could all be horribly wrong. The Clippers could sweep them. We could look like idiots, but I don't know.
Certainly. And dude, and we already talked about this, man. I mean, if the Clippers are the Sixers of the West.
You just don't
They
know.
could easily make if they made the finals this year, if like future Owen and Jack are talking to us right now and they're like, you guys are fucking idiots. They're literally in the finals right now going up against the Celtics or whatever, right? I'm not even like, what? No, I'm not. I mean, he's been there and they all have been there.
Yeah, and I just don't know. Again, I don't know what version of the Clippers we're getting, but yeah, I'm gonna take the more complete team here, back to back. And yeah, I'm not gonna. I respect the Thunder. Thunder are gonna be good for a really long time because we forget they still have a shit ton of draft picks, right? They're gonna be good for a very, very long
He'll be
time.
there.
They're just not ready to win playoff basketball right now. With that said, Wolves Nuggets.
And they've been there too, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, Luka's been there.
Yeah.
The only reason why he didn't make it to the finals is because he got stomped by the Warriors.
Yeah, and
I mean, no one was stopping that Warriors team.
for you, I don't know if you've seen clips of this, but like EuroLeague basketball games, there's like full blown soccer crowds. So he's been playing in environments like MSG and like LA for years.
Yeah.
Years. So
And he was going up against grown ass men as a 15-year-old dude. Yeah,
exactly.
like that.
He's been playing professional basketball since before he could legally drive in America. So
Yeah, I think. Oh man, imagine if they still had Kristaps and he's playing like how he is on the Boston Celtics right now.
is fucking Tingus Pingus.
That's the most
Where the fuck is
New York.
Latavia? That's awesome.
That's the most New York thing to ever.
Yeah, and the thick New York accent too.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right, moving on. Yeah, 2 seed Denver, 3 seed Minnesota. Here's where your dreams disappear.
No.
Your bias is showing.
I don't know. I genuinely like. We gotta understand. Last year we had No Cat and Jade McDaniels punched a wall, and we still won a game, right? This year, now again, some shit could happen in the first round. Somebody could get hurt.
No, we're just thinking no major injuries.
Yeah, no major injuries. Wolves in 7.
Unless they have a history of it, like
No.
the Sixers and the Clippers.
I'm gonna say Wolves in 7 again because I have to respect who Denver is, and there's no way in hell we would beat them in less than 7 because Denver's too good. Denver is way too good to lose in anything less than 7 to me. So I've got Wolves in 7. I'm curious to hear you on this one.
I'm not convinced yet. I almost had them lose in the first round. It was a close 7-game series. With the altitude of Denver, it's gonna be a hard place to play, especially since they're the defending champions. This is going 5 games.
Ooh.
And let's say the altitude gets to the Wolves. Let's say the playoff experience shows in these first 2 games. It's at Denver, the first 2 games.
Yes.
If they drop 2-0, it's going no more than 5 because they'll grab one in Minnesota. You have to grab one in Denver because they'll grab one in Minnesota out of those 2.
Yeah, like I said,
And once you get to the 3-1 part right here, you're going back to Denver with only 1 game under your belt.
yeah.
It's going to be.
Yeah, I think, like I said, this series has potential to split. Again, this could be another series where the road team wins multiple games. Like I could see it. I could see them beating us in Minnesota twice and us beating them in Denver twice. It's just the way basketball goes sometimes. But my team is whole and healthy for the first time in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
We're the best defensive team in the league for a reason. Like I don't. Why not us, man? Why not?
Because you're seeing the best offensive big man that we've ever seen, the most versatile big man you've ever seen in an offensive league. You're with all the other games that you've. This is why I'm saying it's biased here because out of all the games that you've gone with, your biggest argument was their playoff experience. Yet you're giving no light to Denver in this 7 game
No,
series.
I said Denver's the defending champions. I'm not. I'm saying if they're gonna lose a series, it's gonna have to be earned. Like Denver's too good to go out like that. And again, playoff experience does matter, but I'm gonna trust my best defensive team in the league in a league where defense wins you games, wins you championships. And also, by the way, how the heck is Jokic so good? He's the most unathletic, athletic guy I've ever seen.
Dude, did you see a picture of him when he was like 15? He was
Yeah.
just he was just a fat kid. He was just a fat kid. That was it. Like,
He just does stuff and then he's like, okay.
yeah, I don't know how he does it, to be real with you.
Like it's not like he's not in shape.
Let's not forget what happened last year. I get it's a new year, but let's not forget what happened.
We
That was a
it,
gentleman's sweep.
it's crazy. Yeah, we look like if you look at him and you would tell me he was an NBA champion and like multi-time MVP, I'd be like, there's no way. He's built like an out of shape tight end in the NFL. Like
Yeah, I mean, for all the Attack on Titan fans out here, he's built like one of those dumb Titans. It's not one of those obvious smart Titans, but this dude is built like a middle-aged 40-year-old chucking up heaves, and somehow, by the grace of whatever god that he serves, it goes in,
yeah, that's
and it's gonna go in 4 times this series, and they're gonna win in 5.
you and I are gonna be tweeting at each other that entire series, aren't we?
I'm excited, man. I really hope the Wolves get past
If that happens,
because
if that series
you
happens.
know
But
I think the 3-time MVP is here for a reason, man. And I'm gonna see in my bracket, obviously, I'm gonna see the 2 best semi-white men because they're not American white. So I don't. It's like an off-white here that like it's kind of a cream going on right now. But the
that's a
two,
different font.
yeah, it's a different font of white, just with a little accent to it, like little slant. But that's what that's what I get to see in my Western Conference Finals here.
Top 5 white people of all time in the Western Conference.
Yeah, and 2 of them are gonna go at it at each other. Unfortunately, another top 5 white man of all time is losing in 5 to the Nuggets and Luka Garza. I love that he's a fan favorite, by the way.
Yeah, it's it's because like in garbage time, everyone knows that he's good enough. He's good enough to probably play on like be like a seventh or eighth man on a bench elsewhere. So when he comes in, it's always like a yeah. It's kind of like the Nas Reed. Like we just love him, and then he genuinely balls out, and it makes you love him more. Eastern Conference,
Boston and Cleveland, second round. We both got Boston and Cleveland.
we do.
Okay.
I think different routes, but we do. This one isn't as much of a slam dunk as I want it to be. Not as I want it to be, but as I thought it was going to be. Because Cleveland's not just going to roll over and die and be like, oh, Boston, woo. But they're not deep. They're not, no. Like, Donovan Mitchell's great. I love watching him play basketball. But Boston won 62 games for a reason. Cavs aren't that deep either. Max Strus is a needle mover, but he's not enough of a needle mover. So I'm gonna say Cavs and or Celtics in 5. Excuse me. I just don't. I think they'll start trying. I think the 1-8 series with them for them will be a wake up call, and they'll engage a little bit. And I think they take care of the Cavs in 5.
I think they're gonna give a little run of their money. I think they'll steal one in Boston. So okay, so they still win in Boston. They get one at home, and then they drop the next two. I think they lose in six. Yeah, I don't really know if there's too much to say for this one. It's pretty straightforward. Boston's the best team in Eastern Conference. They should go to the finals. We'll see if they do or not. But yeah, I think they just give them a little run for their money, though. I don't know. There's a lot of fight in Cleveland right now. And with them beating uh the Magic here in five for me, winning four straight. I don't think they're going out without. I think they're feisty. I think they're going to go out. They're not going to go out soft.
This is my fun matchup here in the Eastern Conference semi. Pacers Sixers. And then in a move nobody expected. Just kidding, no, everybody expected this. I've got the Sixers in 6. I say that because the Pacers are going to have trouble with Embiid. Then again, nobody can really guard Embiid. I know I'm glazing a little bit, but it's really hard to stop a 7'3", 260-pound bowling ball. Like it's just, I'm gonna take Embiid here to kind of bully a Pacers team that doesn't really have any interior presence. Pacers could go guard guys out on the 3-point line because they have all these guards and athletes that can go do that. But Miles Turner's gonna be in for 6 games of just getting his shoulder straight to the chest from Embiid. I'm gonna take the Sixers here by bruising.
And we obviously went two different routes here.
Mm-hmm.
I got a completely different matchup here. It's Madison Square Garden versus Milwaukee. And I think at this point, we are seeing Giannis fully healthy now.
Yes, we're assuming he's back.
Through that series, I think he regained it slowly but surely. I think that's why they went, 7 here? I think they ended up. I did end up having them win in 7. I almost had the Pacers win, but I couldn't. So now he's fully healthy up against Brunson here. With that said, though, I think, like I said, but if not including Luka, I don't think he would be considered a point guard anyway. But he's the second best point guard in the league right now. Like I said before, he brings his team together. He's a floor general. If Dallas paid him his money, we are seeing a Luka MVP season right now. With that said, he's got to guard Dame, and having Dame as a 2-man as your second option. And let's say Middleton stays healthy. If fully healthy, Milwaukee Bucks wins this series in 6 at least, if not more. Like they're gonna find their groove, and they're gonna take care of the Knicks in 6 here. So I got Milwaukee, Boston. I got Dallas, Nuggets.
I think that again, we could have a bunch of these series. I feel like there's gonna be a bunch of these series where like an underdog's gonna win game 1, and then the media is gonna be like, "Oh my god, can they pull off the magical, glorious upset?" And we'll be like, "Okay, great."
And that's what I had happening here with the Magic. I think they're gonna be. They don't have no idea what they're getting into here. All they know is they're dogs and they're gonna play ball. And they take care of the Cavs game 1, and then reality kicks in, and yeah, it's not gonna be pretty. So who you got now? You got Sixers, Boston, and Philadelphia, and you have Dallas.
I have Dallas and my Wolves, and that's got to be at the same time. It's realistic, but also it feels like the weirdest Western Conference Finals ever because
It is.
it doesn't have the 1 seed. It doesn't have the defending NBA champs in it. At least in my case. So
Yeah.
this one's interesting though because the only game I've seen us play against the Mavs, we survived a Luka 40 burger and beat them on national television, I believe. So I don't know. It's like, yeah, we're a great defensive team here, but if we got by the Nuggets, the Mavericks are we match up a little bit better than them with them. But I think that one goes 7 because Luka and Kyrie are gonna be red hot at this point. So
they're on fire right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Wolves in 7. Cautiously.
Wolves to the finals, dude.
Cautiously.
I would love to see it.
Cautiously. I'd tap into my college savings
You're fake, man.
finals game. Anyways, who's your Western Conference champion?
So we got Dallas going into Denver.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a series
I
here.
love how we both unironically agreed on Dallas going to the Western Conference Final.
Yeah, out of everyone in the Western Conference, we
We
agree
could have
on
picked the Clippers. We could have picked like the Kings or something. But no, Luca, Magic, and Dallas.
Here's the deal with the Clippers. It's always the Clippers at the beginning of the season. I always see ESPN analysts go, Kawhi Leonard. He took a random ass Raptors team to the finals and beat the Warriors. Like, it's not going to happen again. Like, that's over. Like, you were seeing Russell Westbrook and Harden in those unis, but we're looking at Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce in a Nets uni. Like, that's what we're seeing here. And we're seeing a team that's injury filled, that has the talent to be there, but realistically, it's just not going to happen because Father Time is catching up.
Yeah.
Father Time always catches up.
Then again, we said that about LeBron, and he's in year 21. So
LeBron is a complete anomaly and does not apply to any of those rules here. Dallas and Denver. So I'm not fully convinced yet.
I think this is a little bit
I
more
don't
of
know
a
what I'm
slam
saying.
dunk. I think this is more of a slam dunk than you think.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. I don't really know what I'm
fun
taking here.
again.
With that said, though, we have a three-time MVP here that is unstoppable.
Okay, I go to NBA Finals now.
I think, you know what I'm debating between? 6 and 5. Same thing with the Wolves here, right? You go into Denver and drop them both. They can steal one. If they steal one of those home games, you're screwed going back into Denver, and you lose in 5. See, losing to Denver in 5 seems harsher than it is. As soon as you drop one home game and you lose both in the first 2 games, it's over. You're done, right? Even if you win both, you gotta win one of those first 2 games, otherwise the series is over. And I don't think they do that. I think they drop the first 2 games and they lose in 5. That's my that's my prediction right there. They lose in 5.
That's a lame Western Conference Finals, but at the same time,
It is.
it makes complete and total sense because
Yes.
Denver's just so good, bro. Aaron Gordon
Denver's so
again.
good. Here's the deal. Let's look back at the Denver's run right now that I have them going on. They drop LeBron and the Lakers in 4. They have Minnesota coming in, and they don't lose a single home game. They win in 5. Gentlemen's sweep. The only thing that they lose is one game in the Twin Cities in Minneapolis. Moving on to the Mavericks. I mean, here's the deal. If they're gonna beat the Wolves in 5, who says they don't sweep the Mavs? And I'm completely turning right now because I thought this was gonna be a 7-game series. But if they're gonna beat the Wolves in 5, who says the Dallas Mavericks are winning any more than 1?
Yeah, that's the thing though, is I think the Mavs are going to struggle. Whether it's the Wolves or the Nuggets, I think the Mavs are going to struggle in any capacity. So
I think they're good enough to be there, but
yeah, they're good enough to be there. I don't know if they're good enough to beat either of those teams.
yeah.
So
So yeah, so you got the Wolves, I got the Nuggets coming out, both beating the Mavericks. We're agreeing on the Mavericks every time. It's just funny.
I really hope that one doesn't come back to bite us, where they lose in like the first round, and then we have to do an emergency podcast and apologize to all of the Mavericks fans in America.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to, man. That's fine by me, man. I want to see the Mavs win.
Speaking of championships, Celtics Sixers in the East. Again,
Sixers. That's awesome to see, man, because they drop a bucket last night. If they drop one bucket, they're facing this team in the first round.
yeah. And then again, we're having a completely different conversation about like matchups and how the Celtics aren't going to walk through and all that stuff. With that said, Boston in 6 because Boston in
It's
6.
pushing it, man. Against the Sixers, 6 is pushing it. You could throw 5 and be
I'm
fine.
going to say 6 because again, Embiid's going to get them one, and I think a random Sixers role player might get them one as well. But That's subject to change, but there's no way. I don't see them sweeping the Sixers in any capacity. The Sixers are getting at least,
Well, they'll get at least one because of Embiid if he's even healthy at that point.
yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Celtics in 6 there.
The Bucks are catching fire like Katniss Everdeen, taking down the Knicks, taking down Pacers. With that said, they're going up against Boston now. It's a different ball game. I feel like they've split in the playoffs at this point. I don't see Milwaukee getting past the Boston Celtics here.
Yeah. Again,
With how many games? Uh,
for the people watching this,
it, it,
you don't want to pick Boston every time, but we have to because they won 62
no.
games and they're so good. Like we want
Yeah,
to.
I mean, this is a Bucks fan. This is a Bucks fan right now, struggling to click the other shade of green right now. It's one of those things where you're going into Boston twice, and you're going to the Boston Gauntlet twice, and then you have to hold your own twice in a row in your own stadium. I still think they grab one of the first two, but I think Boston grabs one of the one in Milwaukee, and then I think they'll win in 6. I don't think it's going to be super close, man. I don't think it's going to be like that, which is unfortunate because you want to have these fun series. But you know what? It doesn't happen always. And a lot of the times it won't happen ever, really. Like it happens a couple times per playoffs. But with that said, with Boston beating Milwaukee in 6 here, I know that wasn't a fun matchup because it didn't go to 7 games. But you're setting up the two best teams in the league, and you got the Nuggets going up against the Celtics in the finals. This is what we wanted last year. This is the matchup we've all been waiting for. Not only that, I hope we get to see Giannis go up against Jokic in the finals as well. But I think that's going to be one of those Kobe LeBron situations where they played together for like 10 plus years when they were both in their prime, yet they never saw each other in the finals. And I think that might happen with the Bucks and the Nuggets. And we get to see the two best teams in the league. These are the two best teams that should be here, fully healthy.
I've got Wolves Celtics in the final, and unfortunately, this is where the magical run comes to an end. Again,
Yeah, that's sad.
I like picking. I want series to be even. I think this one will be because again, we're not going to roll over and die. But Boston is better than we are. I know we beat them in the regular season, but I'm going to go with the 19-year-old Jason Tatum and the Celtics in 7 games. Unfortunately, it's just
7 games again.
I have to because I have to give respect to the defensive juggernaut that my team is. So, and that's going to win you a bunch of games here. So, yeah. So I've got the Celtics in 7. I hate it. JJ's going to love it. And
Oh, he's licking his chops. He's watching right now. He's licking his chops, dude.
yeah, he's probably yeah. So
He's also licking his chops because he knows that he's in my finals right now too. This is the hardest one out of all of them, and this is gonna go to 7, man. It's gonna go to 7 games, and this is gonna be such a fun finals to watch. Jokic going up against Tatum, Jaylen Brown. You got Kristaps Porzingis in there being the X factor. They're gonna split first 2 games. They're gonna split second 2 games. They're gonna split the third games, and they're gonna go into Boston. You hearing me, JJ? They're going into Boston, game 7. Spoiled, rotten milk. Denver in 7. 3-time MVP Jokic gets his second Finals MVP, and he's going.
oh,
Congratulations to Jokic once
how do
again.
we keep losing?
Forming.
How do we keep losing to this Serbian man? This unathletic Serbian man.
Oh,
I hate it.
Coming once again.
I hate that it's working. This unathletic ass Serbian man. It's just,
It's not.
I seriously, I struggle. Like, I try to explain the NBA to my siblings and stuff, and it's like, who's Jokic? And I'm like, he's like an unathletic white guy who's just really good at basketball. And they're like, How can he be good at basketball and be unathletic? And I showed him a clip of him doing some shit like, and they're like, oh,
because because he's a geometry major and he knows exactly how much and he's a physics major too, so he just knows how much power to throw on it.
okay,
It's all mental.
okay,
I swear.
I score a ball that's 90-degree angle. No,
And the degree angle, the power right here, the ATP.
I hate
Yes.
it.
All right, fine. I'll go to the parade again. I'll go to the parade again. Just let me go back home to
Then you
see my
know,
horses.
I go for it. I get drunk and go home
No,
and
he's winning. No one's stopping him again.
yeah, I just
I don't care if it's Rudy. I don't care if it's Kristaps. He's going up against all of them. He's going up against the gauntlet. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
It's Denver. It always was Denver. It'll always be Denver. He's going for a third one next season. He's gonna go hopefully go up against Giannis.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
over for the league.
I just, I don't know, man. Like he's so good. It's so good. It's like it's almost annoying. You know what I mean? Like it's,
It's not though. I mean, KD was annoying. As a Warriors fan, KD was so annoying to watch because he was. I mean, yeah, he was a cheat code too, but his personality is fun, just like Giannis.
for now, it's the Serbian man. So
It is the Serbian man for me. I don't think I don't think there's any firepower that you can have to stop him yet. He's peak prime right now. And he's gonna go for a fourth MVP next season, just like LeBron did. He got 4 and 5 seasons. That's what I think.
yeah.
All right, with that said, guys, this is our predictions for the 2024 NBA playoffs. It's gonna be a fun one. I really think it is. This gauntlet of a Western Conference is going to be great to watch. Even the Eastern Conference, they're going to be close games, even though they're not to the standard of the West. They're going to be close games. I don't think there's going to be too many 7-game series, but there's going to be enough series where you're going to think that you're not going to know who's going to come out of it. And that's fun. That's what we're here for. I know I have the Nuggets going all the way through again, but here's the deal. There's 5 teams that you could make an argument for that could sweep everyone, you know. So we have no idea what's going to happen here, and we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see.